Chapter 26, Privacy and Security. A primary responsibility of both healthcare providers and their business associates is to ensure that healthcare data for which they are responsible is held in the strictest confidence. Privacy is the right of individuals to control access to their person or information about themselves. In informatics, the concern is focused primarily on privacy of information. Confidentiality relates to protecting and safeguarding health information from inappropriate use, access, and/or disclosure. Privacy is about the person, while confidentiality is about the information. Privacy talks about the rights of patients as they have the right to privacy. Security relates to the administrative, technical, and physical safeguards that are implemented to prevent privacy and confidentiality breaches, and also to ensure integrity and availability of information. Privacy and confidentiality continue as global concerns today. Patients have the right to be informed of their rights, the right to privacy, the right to review their information, to have a clear and complete presentation of their information, to append or correct any inappropriate or incorrect information, to block the release of information, to be notified of who the information is disclosed to have protection from the release of information to third parties. Fair information practices are also known as fair information practice principles, and these are a set of internationally recognized practices for addressing the privacy of healthcare information. Business ethics are the way that the medical professional conduct themselves, the culture of the organization, and their leadership. In informatics, sample business ethics are codified by the International Medical Informatics Association. The IMIA published a code of ethics for health informatics professionals. It is very closely related to fair information practices. This code has two major sections. The first one addresses fundamental ethics of autonomy, equality and justice, beneficence, non-maleficence, impossibility, and integrity as it is applied to informatics. The second section concerns the rules of ethical conduct for health informatics professionals. The Privacy Act in 1974 protects certain personal information held by federal agencies in computerized databases. It includes three important factors. First is the privacy of health care data that is considered within the larger context of overall privacy. Second, the legislation reflected the Code of Privacy policy described previously. Third, the Privacy Act includes specific legislation about cross-referencing data in multiple federal and state databases due to these databases could create information that clearly identifies individuals. HIPAA only addresses the rights as they relate to personal health information. This information is individually identifiable health information that is transferred, which would be demographics, health and mental conditions, and treatment as well as payment information. While there are differences between countries in how privacy is conceived and in the value placed on privacy related to health data, the privacy of health data is increasingly being recognized as an international value. The European Union has historically been more protective of personal information than the United States. The United States federal efforts to protect and safeguard private information is based on various federal and state laws and regulations. In 2009, the HITECH Act included requirements for privacy breaches that are by covered entities or business associates. Breaches are defined as an impermissible use or disclosure of patient healthcare information. Under this rule, the business associates who receive this information could be subcontractors, contractors, or third parties. They are also liable for non-compliance based on the net level of negligence up to a maximum penalty of $1.5 million. Individuals and healthcare providers are not willing to share complete and accurate health-related information unless they can trust that the information has been secured in a protected environment. The Health Information Security and Privacy Collaboration, HISPC, was established in 2006. In 2008, the HISPC moved into its third and final phase. Here, 42 states and territories addressed the privacy and security challenges presented by electronic health information through multi-state collaboration. The Phase 3 projects included the following: studying the intrastate and interstate consent policies, developing tools to help harmonize state policy laws, developing tools and strategies to educate and engage the consumer, develop a toolkit to educate healthcare providers, recommend basic security policy requirements, and developing interorganizational agreements. Health data that is used for marketing and some research are routinely always de-identified, meaning that personal health information is removed so that the remaining information does not identify nor provide a reasonable basis to identify the individual patient. The HIPAA security rule requires safeguards to be in place to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and the availability of personal health information. A balance is needed for patients' requirements for privacy and society's need for improved efficiency and reduced cost. Healthcare institutions and providers earn patients' trust by guaranteeing the privacy and security of their health information. Patients entrust their most intimate information to healthcare providers, and they do not expect their healthcare information or their identities to be exposed to the public. Legal requirements and potential fines make information security even more crucial to organizations. The year 2015 was considered to be a record year for privacy breaches. Financial penalties affected organizations in the form of fines. Organizations are also faced with the cost of notifying the affected consumers as well as civil litigation. The security threats to healthcare data are increasing for a number of reasons, including the expanding volume of healthcare data that is being stored, the proliferation of electronic health records interconnected with HIEs, the Internet of Things, and increasing attractiveness of health data to hackers. The term Internet of Things is the term that is used to refer to the collective set of sensors and mobile devices connected to the Internet and exchanging data. Current security vulnerabilities can be classified into 3 types of events: natural events like floods or hurricanes, external events like malicious messages or hacking, and internal events that are internal to any organization. Medical devices present special security concerns because these often interface directly with patients, and therefore they may cause immediate harm. Medical devices are proliferating and are being used for monitoring, like glucometers, oximetry, home blood pressure devices, for resuscitating, the defibrillator or IV pumps, surgical procedures, thinking about lasers or robotics, for imaging, computed tomography, MRIs or echocardiograms, and diagnostic procedures like ultrasound and endoscopy. Healthcare data have become the leading target for hackers due to the ease of availability. While no system can ever be completely secure, the ongoing effort to maintain a system in the most secure state possible is called risk management. Administrative safeguards are policies, procedures, and administrative actions that detect, prevent, contain, and correct violations of security. These administrative safeguards include selection, development, implementation, and maintenance of security measures, and also the management of individuals involved. One core requirement is to conduct a risk assessment to identify security risks and then to implement safeguards that address the risk. Risk assessment is also known as risk analysis, and this is required by the HIPAA security rule and meaningful use. The purpose of the assessment is to identify gaps or weaknesses that may lead to security breaches. Technical safeguards involve protecting the confidentiality, integrity, as well as availability of personal health information. Common technical security controls for technology include authentication, access management and control, encryption, protection from malware and hacking, disaster recovery planning, and privacy-enhancing technologies. Authentication is defined as the technology and techniques for verifying the identity of human users of an information or computer system. Encryption is the mathematical conversion of information or data into a form known as ciphertext that cannot be easily be understood by unauthorized people. This technical method protects personal health information against unauthorized access. Managing security risk with controls involves physical methods to protect inappropriate access to personal health information. This is controlling access to buildings, workstation security, and securing portable devices like medical devices or laptops with a cable and locking them to a desk. Additional examples of physical security safeguards are requiring 2 forms of identification for access, security guards and alarm systems, fire detection and suppression systems, redundancy for power and network connections, securing output from devices, and logging access to secured equipment. A vast number of resources are available to guide and assist organizations in the administrative, technical, and physical aspects of information security. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability are critical to patient care and for improving patient care outcomes. Practitioners and patients need to be confident that the patient data are accurate and accessible when needed.